People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Hope you're all enjoying your Friday. Hope you've all had a productive week and you can sort of, wind down a bit and enjoy the weekend. People with all of the growth mindset. I want us all to get to a level where we don't look forward to the weekends, in that every day feels like the same. I feel life is a bit of a scam in a sense of, I don't see the point in grafting from Monday to Friday, happy that Friday's done, and then you don't have to go back till Monday. Sunday, you probably have to prepare your clothes and all of those sort of things. So I hope you're all moving closer towards whatever goals, dreams, and aspirations you lot have. As usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, to whoever you are, wherever you are. Good afternoon once again to those of you in the UK, because I know a lot of you are doing a lunch break. And I appreciate the fact that there's 20 people locked in and we've just hit the minute mark. So please make sure that says 20, that says it's 25 now. Please make sure that says 25 likes. Also, please make sure you're checking out the pinned message information in relation to the other live streams, and I hope you're doing well. You lot gas me, man. Liam, these are the sort of things that gas me. Big up yourself, Claude. Hey, you missed the Q&A, my guy, really and truly, but it's calm. We go again. Big up Peter. He's on to you lot. He said at the time 14 people were waiting, there was 13 likes, so there's people that are moving mad. Man are asking, who's this TK guy? Is it Kieran Tierney? I don't know. You lot kill me. And as usual, big up all the members. What's up, my guy? We're going to get into it. Who TK is, I can't say his name. I'm not going to make myself look like an idiot in relation to what position he plays. We're going to get into all of this. You lot can Google, but I'm going to get into it, man. Just call off and wait. We're getting into it. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Big up the members, them. It is what it is. I agree with that. Not sure on the relevance that has to TK, but fair play. It's a good point in isolation. We're gonna get into it. Calm down, my brother. Calm down. We're gonna get into it. He plays in Holland. Just relax, man. Relax. Hey, work's been a mazza, but it's almost done, man. We're moving. You're stronger than your situation. So I'm happy to see everyone, man. I hope you're good as well. Hey, Dial Square said, big up DG. I cut my Zoom with staff early for this dude. Hey, man, I appreciate that. But don't do your staff dirty, my guy. I appreciate that regardless, though. But with further ado, let me get into it, innit? I keep seeing a lot of people asking the same damn question. Now, I can't say his name. I'm not going to make myself look like an idiot. Let me try one time. Koopmeiners? Okay, cool. Hey, big up. Hey, my people there. What you say? 33k subs, many congrats. Thank you very much for your praise. I had to be true, man. I knew you lot were gonna kill me. Listen, bakes are better than dumplings. I can't even lie to you, man. I can't lie. Don't remove my JA pass, man. I hope you're all good. And Queens, I'll keep streaming. Where you been, though? You've been missing. You and Talawa TV been missing for a sec. And A Escobar, you lot been missing. What you lot been on? It's probably been a busy day, but staying on task, people. Now, for me, I don't think we're getting this Donny, but he's a player that we've been linked with before. He's been linked with a whole host of clubs. He looks set to go Italy, but he is a player I like. I have a lot of time for him. He's only 23 years of age. Of course, I'm not here to say he's going to be the messiah. He's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. He's going to be the best player ever. We could sign him and it might not work out. But what I have seen from him, and I'm not no expert, I like it. And I think he could give Arsenal something. He's a typical Dutch player. When you speak of the real Dutch players, the technical quality is there in abundance. He's got that. He's got the leadership capabilities as well, due to being captain at 23. I like him a lot. I think he's got the right physicality to have something in the Prem. He isn't the slowest, but he isn't the quickest. He can use both feet, predominantly on his left. He works better on his left. So immediately, you would have bro, I don't know what shit dumplings you're making, my dude, but fair play. Moving back towards this, though, we always talk about Partey and a partner. We need Partey and a partner. I think that's this is that guy. I would love TK to come to our team, people, because for me, he'll give us another dimension. He adds an area. He'd only cost around 30 million euros. I would love Aouar. I'd love this guy, but we're not getting him. He looks to be going to Italy. I've spoke on him before, and I know you lot have spoke on him before, people. He's got lovely technical qualities, a very good passer. He's the type of player I think we need. He can play as a defensive mid. He can do the box to box. He can play that more withdrawn role and receive it off the centre half, doing what Xhaka does, but with less touches and quicker. Fair play. I think he can do that. He's only 23 as well, so there's resale value. He performs well on the left. He has played in a couple of formations. He can strike a ball expertly from free kicks and dead ball scenarios. He is good. He's a good passer from long range, and he's a good striker of ball from long range, and a very good passer in general. He wants the ball in tight scenarios. He wants the ball all the time, and he knows how to manipulate it. And he's only going to get better. I think he's only been capped once or twice by Holland, and you can imagine as they go into the Euros, he's someone. Did Holland even qualify? I'm not too sure. It is what it is, people. So it is what it is in that regard. Like he said, he's shown he can score and assist. At this moment in time, this season, he's got 6 goals, 14 goals, 6 assists. Now, with all due respect to the Eredivisie, of course, you got to discount a bit of that, but that shows you. For me, I want people that are confident. I want people that can do things in less touches. I think he'd be a good partner for Partey. I think he'd operate well with him. I think he'd give us, in terms of just options, I think he'd be decent. Both of them managed the game quite well. He was linked with us United and Inter Milan last year, so I've reiterated that here. He can improve a lot, but he's very good at the defensive side of the game. And for me, there's a lot of talk of making Dani Ceballos' move permanent. There's a lot of, it's anything from 30 million to 22. With all due respect to Dani Ceballos, I'd rather pay 30 million euros on this Donny than Ceballos. And I think crucially, on top of the mentality and the technical skills, I think he's got the capabilities physically to have a good sale here, to have a good time here. He's 23, but on top of being captain, he comes with experience. 143 caps for AZ Alkmaar, his team he plays for in Holland. He's made 107 of those in the league. Also, if he does hit the heights, there's resale value. This was his agent, though, in relation to moving. It seems like he has got he's got an eye open to leaving. And he said in relation to him, as you lot can see here, he hasn't moved away or shied away from linking him to Italian clubs. He said, T likes Italy very much, both in terms of the league and the country. He knows a few words in Italian. Italian clubs have never pushed themselves to take concrete steps, at least so far. Yes, there have been expressions of interest, but nothing more. So again, that's like every player. There's been nothing concrete. Moving on, he said, there are several months to go until the market opens. Today, we cannot say what will happen. What I can say is that the teams from all the top leagues are after him. So he's obviously talking up his client here. COVID-19 has affected the market, and we need to understand how it will affect us much. It went on to say, people, you can see this is copy and pasted. What is certain, I repeat, is that for him, the time has come for the next step. For now, however, it is right to clarify that his focus is entirely on AZ Alkmaar, that is, and on winning a place in the Netherlands squad for the Euro. So right now he's focused on the season, but the time has now come to depart and move to another league. This is actually something in relation to Tariq Lamptey. I could speak on, people, but I think he's an option. For me, you bring in Aouar, I do think he's an option. If you do bring him in, I would like a 6, someone who is a 6. I do think he would give us a good option. You'd have Partey, you'd have him, you could have others, but I do think regardless, you need at least 2 midfielders minimum, because we're down to our bare minimum in this squad. But for what it's worth, I like the look of him. I think he's someone to have a look at. There's plenty of players to have a look at. It is what it is in that regards, people. So that's just my think piece on him, really and truly. We're going to get into a bit of other information in a bit. Let me see what you lot are saying in the comments, because I big up you lot as well, because you guys early doors, man. Today and this week, you lot have been really sort of pushing my content and things and taking it in. And for me, even if it didn't work out at 30 million euros, there's resale value there as well. So there's a lot to consider with him. But big up to you guys, people. Let me take in some more of what you guys are saying. What have you said here? Not sure Koopmeiners would be a good partner for Partey. Top prospect, but he's more of a deep lying playmaker or ball playing centre half, or more of a defensive mid. I mean, to be fair with you, he's definitely more box to box than Xhaka, with all due respect. Look at the statistics, and you can't be concerned with that and see if Xhaka can work competently with Partey, so can this guy. And to be fair to you, he covers a lot of ground, so it's not a thing really and truly. And so does Partey. It's just down to them to work together. I'm not too sure. We do need someone who can play with a football. In fact, I'd argue that would mean there's less of a gap, because he can play a football. Xhaka takes 1,000 touches. He doesn't. So it makes sense, but it is what it is, man. I think he would. I wouldn't mind Bissouma. Even if we got this guy, I want someone who's just a number 6, someone who's just corned beef and rice. I think Bissouma's got technical quality, but that's what you be coming in the team to do. I think we need 2 midfielders minimum, but it's not going to happen, is it? It isn't going to happen at all. Yeah, people deluded. Big up yourself, bro. Even El Nene looks sick at our point. So when we got a quality player here, come on, smack my Beanie. Come on. I gotta stop saying it because it sounds beaky, but it would be a smart signing. Basuma is not similar at all to Partey, in my opinion, but fair play. Everyone's allowed an opinion. I would pass on Tony at this moment in time, but he might make that look stupid in a few years. I wouldn't sign Adama Traore to play as a right back. I think he's incredibly overrated, and I think he's just on this WWF thing. He's just on baby oiling up his muscles and that. I think he's probably the most overrated player in the league. Personally, couldn't believe my eyes when I was seeing 70 million and them sort of things there. Crazy people. I wouldn't mind Badu at all. I think Badu's a good player. Or Baidu, forgive me for mispronunciations. What's John Doe said? My brother DG, you know, look forward to your videos as much as I do church on Sundays. Praise the Lord, somebody. You lot kill me, man. You lot kill me. You lot kill me. He would be a Xhaka replacement, but, you know, I think he can do everything better than Xhaka with less time on the ball. I do think he's going to end up going to a top club soon. It is what it is in that regards. It's all good. You lot kill me, man. You lot kill me. And love for the kind words, my guys. I appreciate all of you lot. Really appreciate it. And you know, he plays centre mid for me, but he can play in a couple of roles. For me, I want him to do exactly what Xhaka does, but to another level. Because I think I like Xhaka. I think Xhaka could be part of the squad, but I don't think what Xhaka does is good enough. And I think minimum he is, purely because when I see him in a low block, he's taking less touches. He's seeing decisions faster. Xhaka's the best midfielder in the league when he's got 100 years on the ball. Struggles a lot when he isn't. So it is what it is in that regards for me personally. The first target's Arab. I would love this guy, but we ain't getting none of them. This Joe will look at home. Please make sure you're doing up the like button, people. There was 50 likes, 84 of you watching. Please, can we keep pushing up those numbers, people? We're going to get into some other stuff. As I said, we've just covered Mr. Koopmeiners and whatnot, and things like that. We would be class. You lot love it, innit? Come on. Ndombele or Pogba. Ooh, I'll give it to Pogba right now, but Ndombele is no idiot in this thing. So yeah, moving on from that though, people, right, we need a hybrid. We just need, that's what the midfield is. You need midfielders who can do a bit of everything. But I would like an 8 and I would like a separate 6 if you can't do that, you know. Bro, Jacques is, to be fair with you, I think Jacques is quite humble. I don't think that's really fair on him, but it is what it is. James, I would love to see Guendouzi stay, but if you're looking at latest reports, that one there is a myth, people. And if I could find it, here we go. Courtesy of Football Insider, people. As you lot can see here, or not see better yet, because you know me, I'm never going to waste time making a timestamp. There'll be a way to do that easier one day. And where is it? Oh, not that yet. Not that. Here we are. As you lot can see here, people, a lot of people are hoping that we can change. We can obviously, Guendouzi can come back. He can have a future at this club and things like that. I'm one of them. But with 1 year left, everything's speculation. Right now, he's lost his way in the team at Hertha Berlin, and his managers kind of echoed the same sentiments. But allegedly, sources have told Football Insider that Guendouzi has played his last game for Arsenal, and we know that the loan was to put him in the shop window. I think the club will take less than 25 million purely because they played 7, 8, 9, 10 max million. They'll make a profit, slap a sell-on clause. He might go on to be a better player in a France international, but it is what it is, people. Now, I don't know who's told Football Insider. I don't know the credibility of Football Insider, but just don't shoot the messenger. As you lot can see here, Matteo Guendouzi is not expected to play for Arsenal again as the club prepared to offload him for 25 million this summer. I wouldn't be paying 25 million. He's got a year left. I say, listen, give it to us for 15 or we're just going to talk to him for free. So Arsenal are in a bit of a dodgy one there. Nani, he was a good footballer. I'm not quite sure on the hairstyle in that advert, but it is what it is, people. An Arsenal source has told Football Insider that Mikel Arteta has made it clear Guendouzi is not part of his plans for next season. And to be fair to you, he spoke about Saliba and he spoke about all them other young players in relation to how he's watching them. He never said anything about Guendouzi. I do hope with Matteo becoming a father and, you know, it being a long year for everyone, everybody can get back on side, people. So it looks like he's not doing anything. As you look can see here, apparently we slapped a 30 million price tag on him and it's now gone down to 25. Like I said, he's got 2 years left, 12 months left on his deal. So it's not going to happen, people. Apparently, Villarreal offered a loan to buy last summer, but the deal eventually clapped. Who knows? And this, obviously, we all know what happened to him with Benfica. I mean, at Bournemouth. And he's made 14 appearances, 14 starts in the Bundesliga, 18 in all comps. And, he wasn't available at the start. And the last couple of games, he's not been in the starting lineup, but generally it's been all right. And it shows how good he is. He's got 82 appearances for us, people, So it is quite harsh, really. I do think there's some ability there. You don't get that without having some ability. He's made more appearances than Saka. So it's harsh, but if we're going to sell him for 25 million, if you was going to sell Joe and Maitland for respectable sums, then while I don't necessarily warrant it, I get it. If they are simply means to an ends and you're going to bring in quality that can immediately help us, I get it. But Guendouzi is definitely one out of all the ones on loan I would like to see him given a chance, but we're going to have to act quickly. There's too much speculation over players' futures. You've got Guendouzi, Torreira, Xhaka's got 2 years left on his deal. Ceballos and Odegaard are not our players. When you factor in all of these problems around all these centre midfielders and the fact of Partey's injuries, it's a bit of an issue. I want Guendouzi to stay, but if you can get respectable sums, do what you need to do. That's where, for me, Edu and these guys are going to have to pull it out, really, because buying players is one thing, but how we sell is another. When we don't sell well enough, we don't, it's well documented, the players that have left this club. We got a grand total of FU for Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, Santi Cazorla, Koscielny. I'm reaching a bit because a lot of them were finished, but we got a grand total of 0. Before I even talk about, the Benassias, and Gnabry's and potentially Balogun. How you sell and how you sell to reinvest can make a difference. So you're going to have to find, it's a big summer where we're going to have to do a lot. And one has to wonder how much, as much as we've sat here and we've said, I've said as well, better yet, we need an 8, we need a 6, I would need a backup left back, I need a right back. How many of these things can you do without realistically moving people on? Because we've got a bloated squad as it is, and when I look at it, how much manpower do we have to put in the man hours? Because it's tough. You're gonna have to fight. You should be looking for homes for Guendouzi and these players already, or what's gonna happen? Because all of these men might go on loan again. They might all come back into Arsenal. They might all be sold. Who knows? I just know it's gonna be a very difficult summer, really. So we're going to have to see. But in relation to Guendouzi, it looks like his future is a myth if we just go based off what this report is simply saying, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. So, yeah, that's that on Guendouzi. If we look at this, apparently, people, Arteta and Eddie already working on 6 deals. Apparently, according to Football London, people, Arsenal have already begun making moves to improve Mikel Arteta's squad for what is shaping up to be for next season, which should be, Arteta said, we're working on such. As first reported by Football London, the Gunners squad planning for the summer window is underway, with several players having uncertainties over their futures. I mean, we already knew this. We already know that there's rumours about Lamptey. There's rumours about, Bellerin, Lacazette, and obviously Torreira departing the club. Again, they're going to have to solve these things, people. Apparently, we've made an inquiry about Eduard, who apparently is going to Leicester now for 15 odd million. Apparently, we went for Canute, and we've been linked with a next player already today. So, again, there seems to be no real hardcore evidence, people. We already went over yesterday how reports are saying that we're still in for our, as well as Juventus, people. As well as City, and apparently there's a 47 million price tag. So if you could get 25 for Guendouzi and a couple of fees for the others and slap that on top of whatever you had for Aouar and bring him in, I'm all for that, people. Apparently they're not willing to accept a penny less because of the economic climate, and you always hear a lot of rumors about what's the rumors you hear about that now? Can't even remember. How do I make it make sense, people? How about the TV rights in France and all those sort of things? I don't know any of that for true to be speculating, people, but it is what it is. I still want Aouar. I don't think it's happening. I think we've missed that boat, really and truly, and we just have to eat that one. Working on 6 deals. So yeah, that's that, people. That is that. Now, I do think this headline was more sensationalized, but apparently, Aubameyang inadvertently drops hint on loan midfielder's future. Now, we all know, at least for a temporary basis, Maitland-Niles has to return to this club, people. But as you lot can see here, via Twitch, allegedly, Aubameyang has inadvertently suggested on Twitch that Ainsley Maitland-Niles will be back at the club from West Bromwich Albion. He will be at some point, as Torreira and Guendouzi at some point. They were at the club for a while before being moved on. He was speaking about who's the fastest in the club, people, and he put Tierney and Nelson up there. Yeah, and he suggested that Saka meant his wonderful goal, but for what Aubameyang's allegedly said, top three apart from me, you put on the side. I think Tierney, he asked to do a race against him because the stats are talking for him. Maybe he's quicker than me, so let's do it. Then I think it was Ains, but he left, but he'll come back, so we can do a race whenever. And Reece is there as well. He was then asked about the wonder goal from Saka. He said, I would say yes. So whatever that means, people, we all know Maitland-Niles has been playing here, there, and everywhere. I've got the West Brom versus Everton game recorded, and I will be watching that after this live stream, and in due course, providing you with a long report for these players. In fact, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has got 2 games this week. He's played Everton, and they've obviously lost, and it's Loney versus Loney. You've got Newcastle against West Bromwich Albion, Joe Willock against Maitland-Niles, and all of those things. I think yesterday, because I have watched a part of the game, Maitland-Niles unfortunately denied a wonderful assist, people. Wonderful ball into the box for their striker who was just offside. And I've criticized Maitland-Niles' end product in my loan reports and things. I think that would have been well done him good there. So he's a bit unfortunate in that regards, people. So we've spoke on that. We're working on 6 deals. I'm not going to read this, but Ashley Cole basically said Ainsley Maitland-Niles' versatility goes against him, which is true because you become a jack of all trades, master of none, and you become a manager's dream, your own nightmare. It's a bit like Milner. He actually went Liverpool to play centre mid, and he's played centre mid significantly, but he's done here, there, and everywhere. The same at Villa and the same at City. Versatility can kill you, and especially when you're like Maitland-Niles, you might have come up as a midfielder, but the lines are blurred. And even at academy days, he was playing centre mid, but I saw him excel on the flanks, excel at right back, excel in centre mid. You need the change you need to do. You need to become a centre mid who's able to play right back or here, there, and the other way, or a right back able to play midfield, not one game left back, right back, and all the others, really and truly, where it helps, but it's crazy, people. He is too versatile for his own good, but he hasn't really convinced in the middle of part, not 100% convinced at fullback as much as I like Maitland. So we'll have to see. I'm not going to bore you lot with that. This is the same thing. Ibrahima Kanute, we've been linked with him again, people. So there isn't anything new in that regards at all. If I just type in Arsenal and see if there's anything new surfacing, people. Why is there so much Maitland-Niles propaganda? Shout out to him. He's better than Elneny, but it's not hard to do that. Apparently, we're ready to let Lacazette go for the right fee. We're set to lose 4 youngsters. But let me guess, Kiddo Taylor Hart, Balogun, and I bet it throws in a Luke Plange and a Levy Lang because they've been on trials at QPR and West Ham respectively. But according to Football London, this is what we're going to see. Oh, it's actually not. To be fair with you, Ben Shafe has a year left. He does have a permanent option in the Coventry deal. Arthur Okonkwo, I think it's quite sad because we did a lot to keep hold of him when he signed as a scholar, people. Initially, when he signed as a... Sorry, people. Young players leaving. Just so I'll forget the mental note. But I think we fought tooth and nail to keep him as a scholar, pre-scholar. And he's had a terrible time. Like, he's actually had a massive operation on something to do with his health. Like, it's a blessing that this man is able to play football. I don't really want to expand on it, but he did have a serious surgery, nothing to do with football, that caused him to be out for a while. So I think all of this and letting him depart is a bit crazy, but we do have a lot of goalkeepers on our books, and I'm not too sure who's the standout candidate. So it makes sense to let Kiddo Taylor Hart as well as Balogun leave is an L. Ben Shafe needed to leave a while ago. Alowu is just not levels. Kiddo Taylor Hart is a tragedy, especially as he's stepping up to 23s. And in the case of resale value, we're letting man go for peanuts. So it is what it is, people. And the first year, Kiddo Taylor Hart had a woeful year because he had injuries and that we should have committed his future. I think the club wanted to see a bit more. And hopefully they did. But now if I'm him, I'm moving to somewhere where there's maybe a clearer pathway because he's done all he can to get opportunities, in my humble opinion, folks. So it's that. You can see Lacazette here. Well, you can't see Lacazette here because I don't know what's going on there. Well, you can't see Lacazette, people. But Lacazette, like I said, we've been linked with Edouard. Raw, what happened to Ozil's? Oh, wow. Ozil. I heard Ozil's been having a tough time in Fenerbahce, people. But look, he looks like he's hurt himself. He suffered ligament damage. Hopefully he's over that. This happened in their 1-1 draw. Stretch it off. I haven't heard too much about Ozil really and truly, apart from the lack of chances he's created, people. Partial tears. Maybe that's a result of playing frequently. As you look can see here, people, we have let 163.5 worth of signings quit for free. Now, you're not always going to make your money back on big transfers, but I think this tells you everything. Pardon me. So, yeah, man, hopefully Ozil can get over his injury issues, but that's enough with Mesut Ozil. This guy's got the same agent as Bale. 15 million. It looks like Rodgers is raiding his former club. Leicester City are closing on the deal to sign Celtic striker Edouard, according to reports. 81 goals in 160 appearances for the Scottish club after joining from PSG. He's obviously the man that brought him initially on loan and then permanently. So the chance to work again with Brendan Rodgers at a team challenging for the top four might be too good to turn down. We've heard Leicester, Roma, Arsenal, and a couple of other European clubs have been monitoring him. For 15 million, I think you could hardly go wrong. COVID and Celtic being broke has meant they've had to drop their asking price. I wouldn't mind that, but it seems that Arsenal are not going to do anything, people. So, yeah, and he only has a year left on his deal. And Celtic obviously have to give 40 million, which is good for PSG, really and truly, because you look at it, they let Adil, Yachin Adli go for cheap, Adil Ayushe at St. Etienne, and that Kai Ruiz guy, he looks to be leaving for free. So they need to pattern off their free transfers a bit better. They've got that young lad, PSG got that young lad at Leeds. I can't remember, who's scoring goals as well. And I don't know how they're going to look at him returning people. So we're going to have to see, people. We're going to have to see. So it's mainly the same things. We're getting Canute, couple young players are leaving. We're getting Canute. We're on bringing in Lamptey and things like that. So we'll have to see. Hopefully this isn't clickbait. Please don't be clickbait. Let's see what's happened here. Let's get to the Steve Marrow reveals Arsenal came close to signing Jadon Sancho, Jude Bellingham, and Christian Pulisic. Well, none of them are at the club, so it doesn't matter. Morrow, and to be fair, Morrow, interesting story. He aired one of my emails, people, once. So it's funny how karma works, because now you're not working at Arsenal anymore, prick. But moving forward, people, every club will say they were near misses. Jadon was certainly one of those. We missed out on him when he moved from Watford and went to Man City, and then again when he reached the age at City when young players have a choice to make. So again, missing out. Did you just miss out on him, or did you try and concretely get him? We did try when Wenger was here. We was very close to signing him. And to be fair, they felt the best opportunity was Dortmund. And it really was. I would have loved Jude Bellingham to come to the club. It is what it is, people. When he came to the end of his contract at Birmingham and was debating whether to stay and sign a scholarship or move elsewhere, we were close to that one as well. Well, you can't have been that close, people. Apparently, Pulisic had trials, a bit like Valverde at the club. And to be fair, Christian Pulisic had trials at Barca and Chelsea as a kid before. Through our connections in the States, Christian was one that I actually had over at London Coley as a 14-year-old. He came in and did quite well, but he was small and underdeveloped physically when he came to us. I mean, physicality, this is things you have to learn, because physicality can change, Physicality, for me, you can learn physicality. You can't learn with the brain. At some level, I don't want to have to teach a 25-year-old to make the right decisions, but I can tell him to hit gym. So this is something we probably needed to do a bit better, people. Maybe it was too much of a financial risk. Obviously, you probably have to move his family over and stuff for a 14-year-old that at the time might not necessarily make it. Who knows? But it is what it is, man. I wanted to bring him back, but it just didn't work out. And he went to Germany, unfortunately. Okay, cool. Fair play is what it is in that regards, people. So make of that what you will. I'm not going to go over the same Sean Dyche things. Apparently, Pedro Neto was wanted by Arsenal once upon a time. I made a video how many years ago about him, and he had trials at Man United, same way that Martinelli did. So clubs miss out on players all the time, but there's got to be more to it sometimes, man. It's about minimizing it, and it seems like Arsenal more often than others miss out on players. Oh, big up Rob Holding. Rob Holding looks like he's getting back in with the galley and that, but I'm not no gossip page to be speaking about that. What's this? Got another one here. Arsenal are unlikely to move for Club Brugge defender, who we've been linked with before. Apparently we're keen on a 20 million euro deal to bring the 20-year-old over to England. Wolves apparently are as well. I'm trying to find exactly why. Apparently Arsenal's interest today, though, stating that the Gunners' strength in depth at centre half means they have no need for the player. I think we do need a centre half, but maybe someone a bit older. We'll have to see. So that's all it said, people. There's nothing really of any concrete evidence. What's Gilberto said? Let's come off the Football London, man. We're always there, right? There's nothing else, people, really and truly. There's nothing else. Shout out to Buendia. I'm sure you see another week he was turning up for his club, Norwich, and he's going to cost a pretty penny. But realistically, there's nothing more to harp on about. So, what are you lot saying in the comments, people? Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Appreciate you guys all the time. Let me see what you guys are saying in the message. We have been linked with Ivan Toney. I'd probably pass on that, but fair play. I haven't seen enough to be confirmed. I think he's a good player, but I haven't seen enough to really depart with 30 million for a striker where at a time where Arsenal allegedly broke. And that's before talking about a centre mid, a backup left back, potentially 2 centre mids and a fullback. That's just me personally. If he comes, he gets my support. We'll have to see. Do you know what? I do believe 6 deals, but it all depends. They could be 2 first-team players, a couple other young players, and all of those sort of things. So it all depends, Is it 6 signings that me and you think would, his levels? That's where the problem is, man. Personally, big up yourself, my guy. I would love Gravenberch to come to this club, but that one there is a myth, I personally believe. So we have to see. Please don't spam. You spam, you're getting blocked. I hope he steps up, but you're throwing around that Starboy tag a bit too light. It's a bit like the world class thing. People just throw that anywhere they want. I've made a video on Florian Balogun, and to be fair with you, that's the last I want to speak about Balogun from a non-footballing point of view, or at least until something happens with his contract. For someone that's barely played 90 minutes at my football club, I think I've spent too long speculating, and everyone and their nan has been an expert on Balogun as to whether he's going to be a star or not. I want him to reach all his potential, but I've had enough speaking about the guy. It's quite frustrating. Thank you very much for your praise on 33K. We keep grinding. Hopefully we keep developing. He's his own player. He's injured at the moment, and I do think he will get chances. Please stop spamming. Spamming is going to get timeouts. The next person to spam is going to get blocked because it's jarring. Very jarring. It's not allowing me to. Just as I was getting onto spamming, love for that Cam. I've spoken about him already, my guy, so take that in. Oh, only time will tell. I think a lot of them have the potential, but time will tell. Big up yourselves, man. I big up Jay. Between homeschooling and work, you ain't had 5 minutes for yourself, so I appreciate that. Fundamentally, I'm not holding my breath with any transfers. Seeing is believing. Simple as that, bro. Shout out to Morrow. Nobody owes me nothing, but listen, I don't enjoy laughing at someone's misfortune, but you aired me. You quite frankly ignored me, and people in your position didn't, without going into talk too tough. It's funny how things work. It's funny. Because I've been speaking about people. He hasn't got the best of reputations, but let me keep stum. I'm just a YouTuber. I don't know anything. One day there'll be a time to reveal everything, but it is what it is, man. I'd rather Lamptey, but I think Max Aarons is easier to get because I don't think Brighton want to sell him. It's not that Norwich want to sell Max Aarons, but if you put the money on the table, it is what it is. And as much as I like Lamptey, that throws it, that sets it up to something that I actually forgot, people, but we might as well scroll up very quickly. And that set me up. Mentioning Lamptey set me up perfectly, my dude. Give me a second as I pattern this all. 1 second. Where is it gone? Love, man. Don't spam the chat, man. Please don't spam the chat, man. Don't spam the chat. You're killing it. But moving on, people. Tariq Lamptey. Obviously, forgive me for spelling his name wrong here. Hopefully that's how you spell it. It's probably not. Listen, I'm his biggest fan. I'm all on the hype train. I think listen, I was rating him at Chelsea. Every Arsenal fan was definitely rating him when they saw him play at the Emirates. I like him a lot. Yeah, I like him a lot. but I do have concerns. Now, I'm no physiotherapist, no expert, none of those sort of things, people. But when I look at it, yeah, Thomas Partey and Kieran Tierney. Now, I think Tierney had a bit of couple knocks and injuries and those things at Celtic. Not to this level, so we're doing something wrong. And Partey was never injured. Partey was never injured. Big up all the Ghana ones as well. You don't need to be getting on to Tariq to come to the Emirates and actually play for the Black Stars as well. But moving on, yeah. Something's gone on with Partey. Forgive me for the mispronunciation as well and misspelling, but something's gone on with Partey. The man's barely injured at Atletico, and something's gone on here. I don't know if it's something we can ask Partey to do better. I personally feel it's how we're managing his workload and things like that. So, you've got two key players in Partey and Tierney forever injured, and we're not looking after them. If you look at Tariq, he's had a lot of problems with injuries. In fact, he's not going to be in the Brighton squad this weekend because of a hamstring knock where he'll see a specialist. Like, this is a segment from Graham Potter. Tariq won't be fit. He had a little setback this week, and we need to get to the bottom of that. It's a problem with his hamstring. He'll see a specialist. He's not available for the weekend. So if we can utilize him properly and main these injuries not a thing, it's not an issue. But when you look at him, he seems to do have his a lot's maybe an exaggeration, but he does seem to have this fair bit of muscular injuries and things. That sounds the same as these two players. As much as I love these two players, to a degree, they're no use for me if you can't be fit. Tariq the same, and as much as I rate him, and as much as I listen, I think he could be at Arsenal, should be playing for England someday, all those things. The 20-year-old has only made 19 appearances since joining from Chelsea in January, and he signed a new deal, but he's been restricted. Now, when he first joined them, similar to James Justin at Leicester, they had to wait a long time before they got football, so a bit of that is played into it. But if we did sign Tariq, there could be a possibility of my first choice left back and my first choice right back battles over their fitness and my first choice midfield. And these are all central to my plans. So that's just one concern I've got. I'm just reaching a bit, but that's something I just thought I would mention, people. I don't think Tariq's lack of height is an issue. I think on the field, he'll give it to you. He's 20 years of age, so there's resale value. I do want him. And like I said, I'm no physio, so I don't really understand the severity of it. So I would have a look of it. I wouldn't mind a look at it, people, at all, really and truly. I would actually be all for that, but it is what it is. I just have a duty to mention it. So I'm probably overstating it, but it's something I thought I would mention, people. So yeah. He does need. It's just an unfortunate one with injuries, man. Sometimes injuries are a weird one. Sometimes it's just a lifestyle change, and it's cool. I don't think his height is a problem. He's 5'5", man. We've seen shorter fullbacks. I've seen Cannavaro, be under 6 foot and beat Bearman in the air. As long as your positioning is good, then it is what it is, really and truly, man. And it is nothing new. This is the point. Well, if we're going to bring Tariq in here, as much as him being a good player, and we need to look at how we're going to develop him to become an even better player, because he's still got potential. There is sometimes I think people don't speak about the weak areas of his game. He's not going to come here and be amazing, but together with signing a player, you need to know how you're going to develop them. And for me, manage the workload. If he's got an issue with injuries, manage the workload, because again, it's not just playing matches that man get fatigued and injured. It's what you're doing in the week. I always give you the example. It's a Sunday now, right? It's a Friday now, right? Let's just say some people needed to start on Monday doing the heavier training sessions, and then as we go into a game on Saturday, they're winding down. Some man need to start off doing the weaker things, and as they're going into Sunday with it Friday, doing harder things. So I think there's something in relation to our rehab programs and what we're doing week in, week out, and those sort of things. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards. We firmly will have to see. It is what it is. I wouldn't mind. I said that earlier, my guy T. I wouldn't mind Robertson. I really like him. I think he could be a little cheap addition. That's deep, man. Let's not start the heightest. That's deep, man. He's got money though, man. But all he needs to do is eat some hard food and he's calm, man. That's it. Eat your hard food. Get your jollof. Stop letting them feed you all these supplements and all of these things. Just eat the real food. Go and eat some yam. You'll be good. You'll be good. And it's probably some lifestyle changes, It's half the time, because I do a lot of research on injuries and why people get injured, and you'll be funny. You'll find it funny what players change. It's like some players have clocked that. Let me stop eating that, or let me get more hours sleep. You'll be surprised. what these players change and if they can get injured or not, or what actually is the cause. Sometimes I've even watched an interview, I can't remember the player, but he was getting injured because of how he stood. You know, how he stood, literally how he stands and whether he's cooking and whatnot, he's putting more pressure on the foot. So when he's playing, you know, it's almost like you're hitting a pressure point. Learn how to stand, learn how to sit. You'll be surprised, people. It's never just one basic term of it. Love for the super chat, my guy. I had you there for a while. You said, what's your thoughts on Jamaica's national team recruiting English born? We're not all yardies, mate. Allow it. Think you lot would have had an all-star team similar to DR Congo. Hold this tenner for lunch, man. I appreciate the tenner, love, my guy. It's a Friday, might get some Mexican or something. I just clock we're not in Central, so Mexican's a myth. I would love it because I would like to be in a World Cup for the vibes. Obviously, I would like, listen, and this goes for all dysphoria nations. I would like it to be where players choose these nations first, and for obvious reasons, we know there's not a lot that's going to. For me, I do think I'm reaching a bit. But I do think when you look at mainly the European nations, it's not slavery, but it shows you what slavery has done, really and truly, in that they're not really benefiting their home nations. And you know, you might be French, English, whatever. When you're winning, you're French born of this descent or English born of this descent. So I would love them to. Let's be real. There's a lot of infrastructure and corruption that needs to change at a lot of these federations. You know, there's corruption in the FA, but there's a difference between first world corruption and crabs in a barrel third world. So it does gas me, especially if we do get the Holgates in these lot. But I think Holgate's going to snake it personally. But I'm all for that, man. I'm all for that. I'm all for all the dysphoria nations doing the madness, people, really and truly. I'm all for it, man. Man said Magnums. Do you want him? Do you want him to play? Do you want him to play drunk or do you want him what? Because two Magnums make me go sleep, man. I can't lie to you. To be fair to you, nah, especially for like, look, I'm Black British. Yeah, I think we're in a parallel. As much as I'm proud of my heritage, my Bayesian and Jamaican roots. You know, if I go over there, man, English called English boy and all them things there. In England, as you know, if I do well, like Anthony Joshua, when he does well, it's all Team GB. You do bad, Nigerian, this, that, you get it. So you're in a bit of a parallel, and this must go for other people. So I don't necessarily think there's a right and wrong decision, but I do think you should, it should be at whatever decision. I think it should be made with the heart because that's what football's about. But at the same time, I get it if you're making it with your brain. And when you look at it, until man stop looking at it as second choice, is what it is. Like you look at Zaha. I'm not getting at Zaha at all, yeah. But let's be real now. If Zaha's career, not that it hasn't been good, if it went the way it went when he was playing at United and he went off to England, he's never playing for Ivory Coast. It didn't bang. He exploited that and he changed it up. Do you get? Same way Antonio's not playing for England. He's going and playing for Jamaica until man see that this is the first thing. And I also, for Iwobi, I rate Iwobi for that. Let's be real. Iwobi knew he was never playing week in, week out for England as well. But what I like about Iwobi, have you noticed, he still gets question marks. But when you stop playing for England, there's none of this unhealthiness, man. Let Iwobi live. Where if he was a young British person playing for Britain, it'd be an issue, man. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Bro, I've got plenty of stories of being in Jamaica and Barbados and they try that English boy-ish. And I've had to say, listen, the accent might be mad. The last name isn't. And if you try a thing, it's long in it. Don't do that. Especially in JA. As much as I love JA, I remember one time I come out the bank, Don's asking me bare question like, brother, why are you asking me this? And I started putting on an accent and letting him know, listen, the mother tongue's English. Don't mess about in it. Like, I'm not an idiot for that. But we'll have to see, man. It is what it is in that regards, man. What about Cal? I would love Calvin Phillips, but again, pretty penny. It's a myth. Do you know what? I think Hakimi could actually play in a back four, but I'm not gonna lie. There is, I do hear a lot of that. He's only good in the back three, and I do kind of see it. I rate him, please. I'd rather Calvin Phillips out of all of them because I just really like Calvin Phillips. But I'd say Calvin Phillips / Basuma like that. Brownhill there, but I think Brownhill's all right still. Lost his place as a direct centre mid since I think Jack Corker, has come back and been fit, but it is what it is. I appreciate all the Ugandans locked in. I appreciate that, my dude. Really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate all of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, man. Nah, bro, it's bro. Not every Jamaican's a yardie, fam. It's all right, man. It's all right. It's all right. I know you didn't mean anything. It's minor, man. Just yeah, it's cool, man. I don't mind being cool, but at the same time, yeah, bro, Smith. You're right on that. Keep the questions coming in. Please make sure you hit the like button. People, please make sure you're there tomorrow for my live watch along for Arsenal versus Burnley. If you're not there, just do your bit, hit the like button and make the engagements rise. We're at 148 likes. There's 258 of you in here. There's certain people not doing that. Brother, they will try, but I don't mind it. It's crabs in a barrel, innit? They see man as an outsider. They see you as a meal ticket. I'm no idiot. I've had to do the same thing. Like, what do you mean you're doing this sort of thing? I think Mason Mount was superb yesterday, and he deserves every bit of praise he's getting on social media and elsewhere because he got a ridiculous hard time, and I think he's doing his thing. I like Mason Mount a lot. I think he's a good player that's hard done by. Did think he was out of form a bit, but he's doing his thing, man, and I'm happy to see it. You know, he is Mr. Chelsea. Really is. You have to put on an accent, boy. That thing is mother tongue to me, boy. But yeah, you're right. You have to just show, man. Listen, and not simple as that. I'd rather Edouard than Tony, but I don't think either are coming here. Personally, it is what it is. Bro, everyone's always trying to finesse, and I can't blame them, man. I don't want to tell you, look, but basically, I was trying to obtain something in Jamaica once. Yeah, I was trying to obtain something because I couldn't go around to a cousin's house and whatnot. I was in a different sort of place. I was trying to obtain an item in it. Long story short, we won't go into specifics. Long story short, man tried to say, I can't get you this item now, but if you give me this piece to hold on to, I'll come back. I'm like, brother, man, I don't know you from nowhere. What do you mean? Like, I don't even know your name. I don't know where your mum lives. You don't know my name. You gotta be smart, bro. That's where I learned how to hustle, man. You know, you ask my mum, I'm that guy. You know, now I'm a bit older, but I used to haggle for I'll haggle for bag juice. I'll haggle for sugarcane. I'll haggle for anything. You can tell me $500. I'm telling you no. And I'll probably end up giving you the 500. It just excites me doing that haggling stuff. So yeah, man, can't blame them. An item, bro. I was trying to get an item. I don't listen. I was trying to get an item. Still, like, let's leave it at that. Still, we got brands and that. Do you think Willian deserves another start tomorrow? On current, listen, you're only as good as your last game. On the basis of the last game, I guess so. But for me, if I'm real with you, you know, I'm trying to have it whether it's Lacazette through the middle, Aubameyang through the middle, Pepe on the left, Saka on the left, Pepe on the right, Saka on the right. I'm having that sort of thing. That's there, you know. So that's the older bench for me. That's the older bench, but it is what it is. Item, man. Item. Listen, items. I tried to get an item. I tried to buy a. Come on, DG Thinkers. I tried to get something in there. Listen, let's leave it at that, in it. Boy, Reece Nelson has to, you know, get into the England squad first. Trust me, I'm a country boy, so you know what? I don't like Kingston. Yeah, shirt, bro. Man, trying to buy a shirt. What have you said? The sooner we been Bellerin, the better. I've been on this side for a while. To be fair to you, he ain't. Yeah, you know, I'm not Bellerin like I got pitchforks for Bellerin, but you're one of them. I think you need to move on. Hey, you done though. That hey, Sandro, my guy, the medicine, you know. Hey, man. And there's another funny time. I was moving so stush. I remember I was walking down the strip now. I was in Little Ochi. I was with my guy. I swear to you, this guy's trying to sell me anything in it. You know, this guy's trying to sell me everything, bro. Like this, when I say this guy's selling me everything, he's got bag juice, got sugar cane, he's got. How do you make it make sense? They sell these little crappy little like wooden toy things as well. He's trying to sell me everything. Man's like, no. Leave me alone. I swear to you, when he said, yo, I got this item, I'm like, what? Say nothing. Like, you got that, yeah? Go get that. Man, don't want to see this and that in this. Make sure you run it. This is all I got for you. Go there, come back. Let's do this thing. We did what we needed to do. It was elite, you know. But until he said he had that item, it was a myth, you know. Bro, I try to dodge questions like my guy Arsene Wenger, boy. Sometimes when you hear a beaky question, you gotta do a madness, man. Bro, I miss y'all. I'd do anything to be there, man. I'd do anything, man. I miss being in hotels. I miss being at at family yards. I mean, listen, I used to have terrible times as a youth sleeping there, but being a first world kid, and your cousins are there calling you English lad, and all these things, English boy. They all think you're rich. Your mom's telling you leave your Game Boy there because they are less fortunate. You know, it's bare hot, showering outside. You know, first time. You know, I thought chickens. You know, when they do the cuckoo in the morning, yeah. I thought that was only in cartoons. I heard that in JA. I was like, yo, I want to go home. This is mad. But yeah, but I miss it, man. I miss mashing up jelly trees. I miss the guinea. I miss every damn thing, man. And that's another thing, but them people are rude, fam. Rude as hell, man. I love them, man. Showering outside, cuz. Never want to go back. It's a shame, man, because most of my family are actually moving out of JA and whatnot. So I really want to keep that going for my younger kids. Well, for my unborn kids, because I really had an authentic sort of childhood. You know, obviously finances plays a part, but I used to hear certain people say, "Oh, they're from Jamaica, or they're from Barbados, and they ain't gone there, or they ain't done this." I'm like, yo, you got to take that to VAR. You know, you might not be 30 still. It's crazy. Bro, I don't know. I see some of you saying certain things, but I can't bring up their messages, people. I don't know what that is, but if I did know, I have never had that, or at least it wasn't supposed to. But yeah, I don't know about any of that, bro. Anyways, people, you're right. Burnley need to hold 4 tomorrow, man. I want 4-5. You know, I watched Burnley in the week. They did well against Leicester. There's not much to Burnley, as you know. They're a long ball team. They're gonna maximize that. We conceded from a set piece. We had 10 men. We started the game with 11 men. We ended it with 10. We're at the stage of the season where I don't feel Arteta should have to tell these players what they need to do. I believe the best footballers work things out themselves. Unfortunately, we don't have problem solvers or street smart individuals in that regards. Can you map out your rotation for the next 3 games, considering key players and tactical fits you approach? Zach, that's a tough question. Who we've got in our next 3 games? What? Burnley, Spurs. I'm not too sure if the Europa League plays a part in that regards. You know, if it's a Europa League game and then obviously our thing. I'm not too sure. Let me actually check for you. So what we got? Burnley. Who's after West Ham? Again, I'm not too sure for the Europa League, but what? Really? When do we play Spurs? When Spurs is next weekend, isn't it? Spurs is next Sunday. So what? You're only playing 2 games in a week. You only these next 2 games? What you've had a whole week to prepare for Burnley. You're gonna have a whole week for Spurs. So I don't think rotation is an issue there. So I don't really feel there is need for rotation. But you know, if there is only rotation, it's gonna be the players that I feel don't drop the team off significantly. You know, you can do a little Lacazette instead of Aubameyang up front and Lacazette on the left. You know, you can play around with the many options in the cam position and the flanks. I don't really want to play around with midfield. You know, as much as I think Xhaka's a squad player, I think Xhaka has to start until he does something mad. Partey obviously walks into that team. So Bios was it for me. Defense, you know, for now, I think it's got to be David Luiz and Gabriel. Shout out to Marie as well. Do you know what? David Luiz, Gabriel, Marie, these guys, I don't mind them being rotated. I want the defense to stay as it is, but I'm not really fussed about who plays in the sorts. You know, Bellerin for Cedric out indefinitely would be the thing I'd be doing as well, people. But it is what it is. So that would be my roadmap. I'm not too sure when the Europa League plays a part, but I don't really think it's a yeah. So Olympiacos is a thing. That's a good question, Jack. But really, I'd just be rotating the attacking players. I'd have to cover that question. I'll cover that one again when we get nearer the time. Hey, bro, you have Dream Weekend money? You have that? Mad thing. I would love that. But that's a mad thing. I see Vontae Daly Campbell. Admittedly, I do think he could have had a future here. I do think there's a pathway, and he is on the cusp of first team at Leicester, allegedly, and he's been on the bench. So it could be a mistake. I think it was a mistake not to hand the man a pro deal, because that's why he left. It's not like the others where we're asking man to stay. You just didn't rate him. So it's a madness. Marie's good, but you see what it is with Marie, yeah? I think people don't talk about the concerning areas of his, you know. We don't know his true level, if we're real, you know. Could have done better for the goal. great against Leicester, one of the players of the match for me, but was a bit booky against Leicester for that goal. Obviously, conceded the penalty against Chelsea. Last season looked suspect against City, and there has been games he has looked suspect. I do think he's good enough for the squad. I do think he's been good in all his appearances. You know, has he even lost a game for Arsenal yet? I think he's a good player, but I don't think we know his true level yet. And I think I'd urge caution for drawing conclusions on Donny yet. Man said, if we get Champions League football, which players would you buy? Bro, I'm going for Aouar. I'd bring in Aouar. I'd probably go for TK. And I'd look at a right back personally. Pablo, future captain. I'm not too sure about that, but don't mind, man. Bro, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. If the P's are there, why not? That's litty. I think El Nene have to go to Telemans there. Not sure what you mean. I think Gabriel's our best centre half as well. But I like, you see, right, for me, it's a Gabriel and Marie are the guys I'm coolest with, because what I like about Marie, he knows what he can and can't do. You never see him trying to do things above his pay grade. He knows the passes he can and can't play. Gabriel is still raw and needs to be developed, but he's our best centre half. And man, I'm forgetting his impact. He's only really dropped off when he's been left out of the team now for a variety of reasons. Let's be real, Holding isn't everyone's cup of tea, but Holding's done all right. David Luiz is David Luiz, but defo been a lot better than man give him credit for. So I'm all cool with that, and I hope Saliba can do what he can to get into these things, man. Why are you not rating the Canute link, my dude? I don't mind it, but I just can't see it happening, really, because you've got too many centre halves you need to work on. You know, Mavropanos probably will be sold or might come back, but you'd have him potentially, Saliba and Gabriel. That's three sort of youngest centre halves. He has been, you know, he has been suspect at times. You see what saved Marie in that? While I rate Marie, street smartness. People are saying it's a race. He didn't try race him. He dropped off a couple of yards before it. And if you look at it again, he's run across Vardy. You know, you're taught that. That's firmly dark horse. Of course, Gabriel's going to be sus, though. He's 22. He's barely played. We knew he's a good defender. He's raw. I was telling you, he was doing suspect things when he was playing well. The first game he played and scored, he played that silly under-hit pass against Fulham. And he done that a couple of times until it was caught. He likes to get tight a lot. A lot of people are saying it's good, which it is, but you got to find balance, because how did he get sent off? We knew, this is where I'm looking at, we need development, you know, because you were bringing in, at Arsenal Football Club, we're rarely going to bring in man that are the finished article. You're going to get a little Gabriel, a little Saliba, these sort of guys that you need to work on and polish up a bit. Do you get? And that's where I'm looking at the coaching. You know, I think Holding's decent, but, you know, you see the thing with the Holdings, the Bellerins, the Xhakas, these sort of players, man, have made their bed, so they're lying in it, people. To be fair, I think Holding's a bit different, my guy. I think Holding's a squad player, and if he wants to do anything above that, he can do above that. I think Marie's the same, but I class Marie as a bridge player because of his age. I think we need another 25 sort of thing, 25 years of age, 26 plus sort of man, because again, you have a young Gabriel who, as we know, has done some good and suspect things, you know. Saliba, if he comes back, I've already, you lot watch my loan reports. I think we should give him a chance, but he's not going to be the best thing since sliced bread immediately. Obviously, Marie's there, but he's had a tough time with injuries. So I do think we need that sort of low profile bridge player that can tie people across. He is 25, but that's, you know, he could say it, but I don't think he's quite that, man. Bro, Bearman could do things better than Bellerin, man. He does really need to stop being rash. I appreciate your praise, my guy. Cabby, I appreciate that, man. Love for the praise on the 33K. Hopefully we sit here before the end of the year and we can celebrate further milestones. And people, for me, that's something I've needed to do a bit more, because for me, I feel one of my gifts and curses that I'm very goal orientated. I don't try to rest on my laurels. I don't try to, you know, get complacent, but I do think the consequence of that, you never stop and think, yo, boom, boom, boom. It's like when I look at it, of course, I see people reaching 33 and above quicker than me. I see people with bigger platforms. I see people doing other things, but I have to stop and like, yo, 33,000 subscribers, that's very good. Like, give yourself some praise. And I'd urge you all to start doing that. And I've started to do that in life, really. So I appreciate the praise, my guy. Keep the questions coming. Let me quickly refresh Arsenal on Google, see if there's anything new, people. Nope. Still telling me about our fixtures. The most interesting thing I'm seeing is about Sonogo. Sonogo's back at Huddersfield. Shout out to Huddersfield, man. They might quickly become my second team. They did well on what's his face, Smith Rowe. They've got Sonogo now. You keep doing. I mean, you've had Chris Willock as well. You know, Huddersfield might become Arsenal FCB or something if you can't continue this, man. Ooh, good question, Zamari. Good question. What is DG? What is our best centre back partnership? I don't think there is one, you know, because for me personally, it's a difficult one because I can tell you the centre half partnerships I'm cool with. I would like to see Gabriel and Marie, but you know, because they're all left footers and all these things, I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm always comfortable with Gabriel because I think he's our best defender. I like Gabriel and David Luiz. I like David Luiz and Marie. I like Holding and David Luiz. I like Holding and Gabriel. So I don't really feel there is one that's clear, but you know, it all depends. I think the most street smartest one is obviously David Luiz and Gabriel. David Luiz and Marie, sorry. I do like David Luiz, the sort of teacher to Gabriel. I do like Gabriel and Holding, but you know, you've got the raw Gabriel and you've got Holding, who is a good defender. But for me, one thing that harms Holding is he's very blinkered. When you look at the goals conceded against Villa or Wolves, neither of those are directly his fault. But at the same time, he's not aware of Holding's biggest problem is his shoulders, bro. For me, that's just what I'm seeing. He's looking over his shoulders. You can't see Vardy. You can't see this. You can't see that. You're going to be in problems. Man said, on a side note, your lighting is looking better. I'm trying, my guy. Still not all the way there yet, but we're trying. You know, it's lighting. You need to be able to put the lights in. We're not working in the biggest of space. Like, I wish I could show you. Look, there's something there, something behind. And obviously the green screen, which, yeah, you can see if I just do a little thing like that, man. And communication isn't good enough. That's a great point. You know, communication is what makes the defense. The team we're playing against, Burnley, you know, look at the communication for Kelechi's goal. It's a ball over the top from Ndidi. I don't remember who it was, but Ben Mee and whoever in no man's land. Nick Pope is running out for no reason. Even yesterday, Liverpool with Kabach and Alisson again, they got saved by the VAR, but man are running around for no reason. I do think the system changes into a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. I do think to really evolve our system a bit more, we're going to need to see better players. So it is what it is, man. Hey, you're right, Kel. You know about the KFC back home. It's amazing, man. Are you doing a watch along for the 23s in a few minutes? No, but I'll be watching it. Don't you worry. You will get your review. Please don't ask me for links and those things. Love for that, man. I don't know about that, Mr. Adlib. I don't know. I was trying to get some paracetamol. You know, it's difficult in Jamaica still. I kill myself sometimes, man. Some of my man must be looking at it like this guy. Love for that, man. Hopefully we can hit 100k plus, and it's lovely to have all of you on the journey with a guy, man. You know, love that. Would you sign Odegaard on a permanent? Not right now, because the ability's there. I am liking it, but I'll be a fool if I sat here and I said to you, he's convinced me to, you know, he's a baller, but I need to see a bit more. I don't know about that. Jamaica's got the best thing. It is what it is. Luiz and Marie. I would like to see Gabriel Marie, but you see the left-footed thing, I think it's gone against them, man. I'm excited about Mon Luis. Bear man at that level are going to have good careers. Mon Luis, Marcelo Flores, Patino, you know, Brooke, just about anyone. Kion Edwards, Amari, of course. Bare players are there, man. Arsenal have a couple of players that are going to progress the first team or have good careers elsewhere. Mon Luis's mentality amongst everything else is what I like about him. He's very goal-orientated, and it's scary how a young man is on that, man. It's different. Bro, Mount needs respect. You know, what the last game, not yesterday, I think Mount was, you know, between Mount, Kante, and for me, Christensen, them three were the best. But who did they play before? Was it United? I said Mount looked to be on it the most. Mount needs respect, man. Needs respect. And it's going to be a problem for the Euros, because when you look at it, and I'll do a video on this separately if you want it. When you look at Maddison, Foden, Grealish, Mount, I'm probably missing out one. Somebody's got to miss out, but none of them deserve to miss out. And they all give you something different, really and truly. So, yeah, man. At this moment in time, I don't know, but you will get all your information in relation to who's playing and all of those sort of things when the review comes out. I'm aiming for a next week review, as you lot know. That's typically it. And I'm conscious I give you lot a hell of a load of content, people. So that is what it is. We're at 202 likes. There's 206 of you locked in. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. I think you're talking about Mola. Ceballos, I haven't seen enough. Again, he's gone through patches of good form, but I haven't seen enough. Like, there's not been enough confirmation. So I want to see less patches and more brilliance. You know, only time will tell if Southgate's the one. Personally, I feel you can't have these innovative young players popping around for England. You can't have these mavericks like Grealish and stuff. With a status quo manager, with a conservative manager, with a manager who clearly is good in terms of man management, but unable to utilize them in an attacking sense, people. You know, that's it for me. I like Mola. I think there's a lot he needs to improve in his general play. It lets the game pass him by a bit, but the quality, the potential is there, really and truly. Yeah, you should do a England video. Who would you pick if you were manager for the Euros? Give me a second. I'll write that down. 1 second, people. England Euros vid, who goes, and that could be good, you know, because I could do that again when it actually gets to the time. So big up yourself, Kel. That's something I'll be working on. I don't mind it. I've seen, to be honest, Bold gets a bad rep. But from someone who's watching the 23s, I've seen him play expertly a 4-2-3-1, a 4-1-4-1, and a 4-4-2 of sorts. And he found a good way. I've actually found him Balogun and Tyrese John Jules when they were playing in the team together. I think Bold gets a bad rep. I do think you could get a more of an innovative manager, but I think a lot of people aren't pre-ing it. They give the man a lot of unnecessary hate. I'm not saying criticism, because I have a lot of criticism with him and not on the 18s gaffer, but I think a lot is being made, especially when these boys are getting smacked up. Like, if people watch the Liverpool game 4-0, I don't think you could sit there and blame Bold. I think people forget how much accountability footballers need, man. Trust me, bro. That's him, bro. That's him, with 1,000 fullbacks on the pitch as well. Well, please stop spamming, my guy. But Arsenal, because we're 10th, Liverpool, it's been I'm sure most Liverpool fans would have taken it if it meant last season winning your first title in 30 odd years. But we're having a worse season. We're behind them, you know. I don't think they carry on like this, then I don't think top 4 could be a thing for them. But at the same time, he could be back. Please allow the spamming though, because you're peeing off Omar though, man. You're peeing off Omar, and you know the thing. Omar and Cam, they're like the Dudley brothers for this live chat. If you mess about, they're onto you still. Last question, people. Get your last question in before I kick out of here, people, and clock off. Last question: Aziz or Patino? 2 great ballers. You can't do that to me, S. I love Patino, and I think Miguel Aziz is going to have a chance here in the near to distant future. You know, I'm Patino FC all the way as well, so you can't do that to me, man. I have to sit on the fence. S is what it is, man. It is what it is in that regards. So yeah, man, that was technically the last question. So on that note, I'm going to keep it moving, man. It's been a fantastic 2 hours or so. For those of you that were locked into my last live stream, please check out the other live streams I've got. As you lot know, people, watch along business tomorrow, and that's where I'll be going, man. So make sure you're aware of that. But we're going to finish. We can only hope for 8th, my guy. We can only hope for 8th. I'm optimistic for the rest of the season. I'm optimistic if they pattern up, but because of what's there, they don't give me much faith game to game. So I'm as optimistic as they give me hope for. I appreciate the positive messages. Last question though from River Wild to say Hardy bros or Dudley bros. I mean, I got plenty. I got my ass beat hella times from my mother for doing all those, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy nonsense. I got the scars to prove it by hurting myself as well. But the Dudley brothers were something else, man. They made me have a fetish for trying to put someone through a table. I'd say the Hardy brothers, but the Dudley bros got a special place there. Thoughts on Europa? Need to go to the final, or it's a myth. Simple as that. Big up everyone. I'll catch you lot again. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, and I'll catch you lot in a bit, man. I'm out.